Sean Gallagher on pole alongside Jesse Turner as we come to the green flag here for round number 9 of the 2017 season here in Dubai. Gallagher with a great start clears Turner before the entrance of turn 1. Vladimir Petrov immediately from third place looking to clear for third against Cavanero. He does. But Gallagher immediately assuming the lead after attaining pole position. First couple of corners, Gallagher running a little bit wide as Turner runs a bottom line there and gets a great run. Turner with building up a bit of some momentum here, looking to see if he might try to make a pass into the hairpin. Doesn't look like it for now. Gallagher will complete the first lap, and here comes Turner with a big head of steam. We got a spin in the back. Chris Louviere in the 93 has gone around. But this is the battle for the lead here, as Gallagher does lead lap number 1. But Turner now, he wants to lead lap number 2 and beyond. Gallagher, though, driving defensively. Trying to cut off Turner's line here. As Turner almost getting into the quarter panel. Might have made some contact. But Gallagher does hold the Red Bull off for now. We saw Louviere spin, but this was right before it. As a massive checkup with Jabri, Thanos, Sean Angel sends them all into the wall. So two of the Subarus in trouble. Sean Angel as well, and Thanos making the contact with Angel afterwards. And now here's Louviere and DJ Curtis. And Louviere comes into Michael Block, who had been merging back onto the track, and DJ Curtis just gets into Louviere's quarter panel. That sends them both around and will cost him several positions. Vladimir Petrov now making a move for second place underneath Jesse Turner. Vladimir Petrov last year turned some heads when he basically went from dead last on the grid to finish second place in the B main, in last year's B main, and now he wants to win this year, and he passes Turner for second place. So nice pass from Petrov. AFRT still winless in 2017. They do not want to finish the first half of the season without a win, although both drivers are in the top 10 in points. They know they need to get their winning way started. Here's the bout for 8th place. Deanna Shelton gets a bump from the 9 to Chuck Fibrosis, and now gets some assistance from Vincent Allen, who now inserts himself into this fight. Deanna Shelton coming off a win at Japan, which put an end to her very long winless streak. So that 5 team there in high spirits this week, looking to see if they can get another great finish here. Fibrosis gets into the quarter panel, trying to make the pass, and here comes Allen to finish them off, and there they go. Shelton and Fibrosis both into the wall. They will both fall out of the top 10 and out of the top 20. Fibrosis, he made contact, although I think Allen might have finished the job. Although I think Shelton was already going to spin. Battle for third between the two Red Bulls of Cavanero and Jesse Turner. These two are on a roll so far in this Asian Pacific Tour. Jesse Turner swept Australia. Michael Cavanero winning at Japan. These two teams, they've got their act together. Now they are both running in the top 5, trying to challenge for the lead. However, if they keep battling each other, that's not exactly going to be a very attainable goal. Especially with two S3 cars charging behind, Gene Sanford and Cody Lamas. Cavanero still trying to make this pass for third place. Turner's sweep in Australia gave him the points lead, which he still has for the moment. Cavanero trying to drive through on the outside line, but Turner not letting him go yet. And finally does clear his teammate. 7th place, Steven Paul to 3rd. Coming off his best finish of the season so far from Japan. Used fuel mileage to get a top 5 finish. And Pollard, who is currently the highest Audi car in the 7th place position, he's about to be passed by that 0 car. Texan Audi, man, this is a team. I mean, you talk about AFRT, they need wins. If there's Texan Audi, they just need finishes. They have just not had a good start to 2017. They have just not had the pace to run up in the top 5 consistently. Demax and Sasuke Yakashura are running outside the top 10. Outside the top 15 if you want to get more specific, but Pollard trying to muscle his way through. He was sitting dead last in the points, well, near dead second to last in the points for several weeks. But that finish did propel him a little bit forward, so now he is trying to capitalize. Pollard's on a contract year with this Texan Audi team, so he needs to get his season together if he wants any chance at a ride with them next year, if he wants it. Lamar Petrov gets a great run off the exit of the final corner, looking to make the pass for the lead. Petrov had been setting up this move for the past couple of laps. Now he wants to try and get the first lead change of the day. Michael Cavanero in that 83 car, patiently waiting for one of these two to make a mistake so that he can swoop in and steal the position. Or perhaps both if he can somehow make a pass. Galgan, though, still defending to the best of his abilities. He wants to keep this lead. He knows what's going to happen if Petrov gets that lead. Petrov will just soar into the distance, as he has done in years past. Galgan does hold him off, but now he's got Michael Cavanero coming up to Petrov. But will Cavanero make a move? We are coming up on the first stop of the day. This is a 2-stop race. Petrov looking for that momentum. He wants to make a pass. Petrov gets another shot as he gets side by side with Galligan again off the exit of the first corner. And now they are rubbing, going through these couple of sharp turns. And now Petrov on the outside line trying to make the pass here. If he can make it stick. Cavanero now, he sticks behind. He's going to follow Galligan's line. But look at Petrov. He got a good run through that exit, and he's going to make the pass for the lead. And here comes Cavanero with the quick snatch up here. Petrov clears Galligan for the lead, and Michael Cavanero with a head of steam immediately made that pass as soon as he saw what Petrov did. But will he make it stick? Galligan, though, could shut the door. But Cavanero with a good dive. He wants second place. He wants to get to Petrov. Whoa! Jesse Turner hooked by Cody Lamas. Turner got hooked by Lamas and he goes hard into the wall. From 4th place. We'll have to look at that one in a second. Petrov does hold the lead, and now it's Galligan trying to hold Cavanero off for 2nd place. Replay here between Lamas and Turner. Lamas, he just flat out just gets into the back of the 82 and just drives him into the wall. And Turner, who is our points leader, He's going to have some trouble. He's got heavy right side damage. Luckily nobody has hit him, but Lamas not showing a lot of patience with the points leader. Cody Lamas, he decides he wants to pit a lap early outside of the window. So this should be interesting. Lamas going to come in and try to attempt the undercut here. And I believe Steven Pollard third. Yes, he's going to do the same thing as well. Lamas pitting one lap outside of the window. So he's definitely going to be risking the fuel here. Block, Jabri as well. They're also making the same call, as is Shelton. Petrov has a terrible pit stop as the jack gets stuck, and now Michael Cavanero is going to get in front of Petrov, but there goes Cody Lamas around in the 48. He's going to pass right on by both of them for the lead. Petrov's team, that was a terrible stop, and now Cavanero gets in front of him. And I was about to say he's about to get the lead, but Lamas with a full head of steam has just absolutely blew right by both of them on those fresh new tires. So that undercut worked, as now Lamas with a pretty hefty lead, all things considered. He will pull away here in Dubai. Zachary Fitzwater, he spit on pit road, so he had to come down and serve a penalty. A drive-through penalty, well, a stop-and-go penalty, actually, but... So Fitzwater, he will go one lap down. Petrov, he's going to get a bump from Nick Pericles, and oh boy. Oh, Pericles into Turner again, and Turner now with left side damage. Robert Piet also around in the back. As Turner, well, he had right side damage that he just came to fix, and now he's got left side damage and another similar accident. Turner, he is just being ping-ponged around everywhere. See what happens here. Robert Piet, he's being slowed up by Chris Louviere, and Michaels just gets into the back of the 8 car and spins him around. Joseph Anesto, who's the highest running Patriots Trophy car in the field. He turned a lot of heads at Japan the other weekend, getting a top 5 finish for this Patriots Trophy team. It was on a fuel strategy, but pretty impressive regardless, and it was a great showing for the Axion Rage Union team. And a Nissan Maxima, that's their first ever top 5 and first ever top 10. And that's going to earn them a lot of valuable points in the Patriots Trophy title. We are winding down on that Patriots Trophy championship, and right now it's Veronika Novakovsky who is pretty much on top of the thing. She is trying to move on to the final 6. And Nesto with that finish, he's also going to be a possible favorite to make it to that final 6. Top 2 in Pace Trophy from this group of rounds goes on to fight for Pace Trophy titles, so they know it's important to get these good finishes when they can. Sean Gallagher in the 44 team, they have been struggling ever since they've lost the lead. They have fallen down to 8th place, as Josh Travel just now got by him. So our pole sitter's starting to fall back a little bit. Gallagher's in 8th place, so he's still in the top 10. But he's going to lose his most laps led bonus point if Lamas keeps leading. Battle for second place, Vladimir Petrov going to attempt to regain the position that he lost on pit road to Michael Cavanero. And you can see Lamas still leading. And Petrov, he's got a really fast race car. I think he could probably catch Lamas if he could get the clear space, but Cavanero, he will fight as hard as he can to keep Petrov behind him. This whole second stint's been pretty quiet. We're actually about to come up to the final stop of the day. So Petrov, he does not want his pit crew to make that same mistake that they made earlier. So he's going to drive as hard as he can to make up for it, and he will pass Cavanero for the second place position. Chevy's on first place, Volkswagen second, Toyota third. Cody Lamas will come to pit road for his final, well, what should be his final stop of the day. Lamas to pit road. He will take his teammate, Gene Sanford, with him. That pitting first strategy worked out in Lamas' favor. That gave him a pretty humongous gap. So now they are going to copy the same thing. Petrov has another bad stop, and Cavanero with some struggle to get out of his box. He will get back in front of Petrov, and now Allen goes in front of Petrov as well. Again, the 09 pit crew just absolutely blowing it, and Lamas still leading. Michael Cavanero does get second place back, and Petrov will fall to fourth. And that has got to be frustrating for the Russian, but now Lamas back in the lead. That strategy worked again. He's still leading. Gene Sanford and Deanna Shelton, they did not have good stops as Alan Cavanero, and Ian Dunham makes some heavy contact. Woohoo, that was a close one. Cavanero getting into the back of the 95. That was hairy. And Shelton now gives Cavanero a bump, as does Dutta to Sanford. I don't think they liked what they saw. I don't think they liked being passed. Battle for third place, Pollard trying to hold off Vincent Allen. Vladimir Petrov actually fell from second place to fifth on that stop. As Steven Pollard third was able to go by him as well. And you can see Pollard, who is just trying to fight for a podium position here. Pollard's a very aggressive driver. He's not afraid to make contact with whoever he needs, to, keep a position or make a position. But Vincent Allen, he does make the pass for third, as Pollard is trying to get another great finish for this 81 team. I don't think this 81 car is exactly strong. I don't even think this is a top 10 car, but Pollard is keeping it steadied and trying to keep it in the fight as best he can. So that's something to be applauded for. We're being told Cody Lamas from his team that he might not have enough fuel to go the rest of the way. Lamas has twice undercutted from outside of the pit window, and he's going to come to pit road. Lamas is going to come to pit road to top off on fuel, and that is going to cost him. That will cost him first place and the win, but he has no choice. He has to come in, take the fuel to be safe. He does not want to run out on the last lap and not even score a point. Now, Lamas, if he just comes to take fuel, he should be able to still be in the top 20 at least. But I wouldn't surprise if they decide to take some tires just to give him some weapons to work with here. So now, Michael Cavanero, he will recover the lead here in Dubai. Actually, I think this is the first time he'll have the lead today. The mistake of the 48 team will be the benefit of the 83 team. 2 rounds in a row that fuel racing is going to somehow benefit the 83 team, so I'm sure they'll take it. I'm sure they wouldn't mind getting a second straight victory in terms of rounds. So Allen is in second place, but he's a little bit farther behind, and he doesn't have much time to catch him. Just under 10 laps to go. Trouble, Vincent Allen blows up in the 0 car from second place. And Allen, he is blocking the front. Blocking the front too as he gets into Pollard and his own teammate Vladimir Petrov. And that puts Pollard into the wall, and now Allen with a terribly blown engine. He is going to be done for. Pollard, who had been running in the top 5 for most of today, he's going to have to come to pit road to fix that left side damage, and that has got to be frustrating for this 81 team, who had been on pace, having a really good run. Cody Lamas, he has fallen to 16th with a couple of laps to go, so he will be in the top 20 if he keeps his car steady. So, and considering he's going to have some fresh tires, and by the fact he also has some good pace, he might pass a couple more cars before this is all said and done. Sofia Vargas, she has had a quietly solid day in this 84 car. She's been running top 10 for most of today and has not been involved in a lot of accidents or any accidents at all. She's been pretty much by herself. She has Josh Travel in front of her and Willie Duncan behind her. These are all cars within the top 10, all looking for another solid finish. Milo Cavanero, he is going to take the white flag here in Dubai and is all by himself as Vladimir Petrov and Sean Galligan running second and third behind. They are not going to catch this 83 car in time. They are running faster laps than Cavanero, actually, but it's not significant enough to where it's going to make much of a difference. And also, Cavanero might also just be backing off his pace. No need to push so far ahead on the final lap, but Cavanero, definitely some good. Well, first of all, that pit crew, they got him some good stops there to keep him in front of Petrov, and also some bit of luck. But considering the start this team had, Michael Cavanero, he wants to defend his championship in a much more impressive fashion than other champions in previous years. A lot of times we've seen a slump in terms of performance after a driver wins a title, but so far, Cavanero, he looks to break that trend. Coming to the checker flag, Michael Cavanero wins in Dubai. He will win the A-Main of the weekend. And a very solid performance from the 83 team. And Red Bull Racing scores another victory in 2017. We're being told that someone got involved in an accident on the final lap here, as Gene Stanford comes across the 95 of Ian Dutta and goes hard into the outside wall. This was for 12th place on the last lap. And that is going to cost Gene Stanford. That's going to knock her out of the top 20, because here comes 20th and 21st of Michaels and Washer. They will go right on by. Time for the B-Main. The top 20 was inverted, so now we're about to go back under green for the second and final time this weekend. Washer on pole position alongside his teammate Joshua Michaels. Green flag in the air. We're back racing at Dubai. And look at this. Veronika Novakovsky immediately making it 3 wide for the lead. Novakovsky with a bold move. Couldn't get it to work, but that was worth the effort, I'd say. But look at this. Teammate battle is Washer hugging onto his teammate. It says Chan on the 90 car, but that is Novakovsky in the 90. They have still yet to fix that banner. Don't judge me, but Washer and Michael still side by side. These two teammates, they need to get themselves sorted out, because Novakovsky, she is ready to pounce. If that first turn was any notification of that fact, but Michaels, he does get the lead. And the rest of the field sorts themselves out single file pretty quickly. Citadino 4th. Satsuki Yakajor in 5th place. Lamas down to 11th, but that 48 team, they finished 10th place after having to pit 3 times, which was a pretty impressive feat. And I think Lamas, he's going to be driving very angrily. He wants to get a win today. So we'll see how he does as this race goes on. Trouble, Ernesto and Louviere again into the wall. Louviere again goes spinning for the second straight round, and Ernesto with damage. He's going to have some problems as well. Looks like it was a massive check up into the entry of that corner. Oh, we got major trouble. Sasuke Yakashiro and Demax, the top 10. Block Citadino, several cars around off the straightaway. Several drivers in the top 10 go around, and now the whole field trying to scatter to go past them. What on earth even happened here? And Sasuke Yakashiro, she runs wide. Demax gets a great run, and Citadino just hooks the 41 into her teammate. And then Citadino comes back into Michael Block, who had nothing to do with that. And, well, Block, losing control of his car, hits the wall on his right side. Luckily, everybody else avoided it, but... man, several cars in the top 10 go around on the second... well, actually, the third lap. But that has got to be frustrating for Demax and Sasuke Yakashiro. They have pretty much lost all the ground they gained from that inverse rule. So, oh boy. And Citadino, he already was parked at Brazil for questionable driving. This is not going to help his case for future incidents like this. Ooh, Joshua Collard. Ooh, that was close. I was about 1 second from saying Duncan in the wall, but Collard did hold his fury for a second. Duncan, though, well, that wreck will help him a good chunk, and a lot of cars who were trying to make this inverse to get it to their favor, as several cars go around. So we'll see how they can perform here. Duncan got a top 10 in the A main, and he's looking on track for another one here. This is your front three, though. Michael's starting to pull away from Washer, but Washer, he cannot get away from Novakovsky, who is in third place. That 90 car, we saw in that first lap, she was not afraid to make it 3 wide for the lead, and while she couldn't make it stick, I think she definitely proved her point. Novakovsky will drive as hard as she can. She doesn't have a lot of rounds left, so in this part of the season. Now, I doubt she won't make it to the final 6 for the final 5 races of the year, but still, gotta get whatever finishes you possibly can. Cody Lamas, he just passed Dutta and Seth Cole, so now the 48 car is up to 4th place. And I think Lamas might be the fastest car on the track, so I do think he might catch this front 3. So we'll see how he does here. I mean, Lamas has got to be fuming after what happened in the A main. If he had just had a little bit more fuel, he probably would have won that thing pretty convincingly. But now, he's going to have to fight for it again. William Duncan looking to make a pass for 8th place here as he gets side by side with Alan Cavanero, and they're 3 wide briefly for 7th. Duncan, though, he was 16th on the first lap. He is up to 8th place, so he is on the move as well. As Alan Cavanero cuts back in front of James Shelley. Shelley does not like that at all. He's going to make a pass right on back to the 7 car. Nice move by Shelley if he can make the stick. And whoa, Jonathan Skavnicki and Vargas into the wall. They keep it going. Close call there. Shelley still trying to make this pass. He wants to get by on Cavanero. The FPM cars, they had a really solid A main. I think they got both their cars in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, or at least they got one of them in. But now they have both of them in the top 10. And Shelley makes the pass on Cavanero. Car looking to follow as well. Ooh, back of the pack, Rosengard, Carter Stevens making some heavy contact, and Rosengard, he is making more contact, and Stevens does not like it at all. Stevens fired back with another shot, and now 3 wide, Dylan Young. Oh boy, Stevens and Rosengard, they seem to be going at it. They are not happy with each other one bit. Vladimir Petrov started 19th. He's up to 11th as he has just cleared Joshua Collard for the position. Michael Cavanero also, who started 20th on the same row as Petrov. He is trying to come up into the top 10 as well. We have seen Petrov come from bigger deficits to get a second place finish. 20th, 19th place starting position. That should absolutely mean nothing to him. We'll see if Petrov can make a run as the race goes on. Same for Michael Cavanero. Joshua Michaels, first stop of the day, and he's going to take pretty much most of the field with him. This time they're in the pit window. And Lamas is going to pit in the window as well, so should be no fuel problems for the 4018 this time. Actually, I think pretty much the whole field has just decided to pit on the same lap as Michaels. No one's taking any risks here. And Michaels, he will actually increase his lead as he comes off pit lane with a very solid stop in the 31 car. MBR, they could be en route to their first win of the season, and could it be with Joshua Michaels? James Shelley, he's up to 4th place. He actually elected to pit one lap earlier than most of the field did that we just looked at. And now he's up to 4th place, now trying to challenge Josh Trowell for 3rd. Trying to get those warm tires to his advantage. FPM has shown some pretty solid pace this weekend. They would love to capitalize with a podium finish here today. Now, Shelley did pit roughly 1 lap later than Lamas did on his first undercut, so whether or not he's going to make it on fuel, though, that's a question I'm sure will be answered later. But Shelley on the outside line, he wants to make the pass. He will go to 3rd here in Dubai. Travel falls to 4th, and now Lamas in 5th place. By the way, he is coming through. He did not have a great stop in that 48 car, but he is going to make up some time. Bad stop for Novakovsky. She falls from 9th to 3rd place. I mean, from 3rd to 9th place. My apologies, but that didn't make any sense. But Novakovsky, bad stop. That's going to knock her down a couple of pegs. Vladimir Petrov, his pit crew. Good lord. We were talking earlier, Petrov was passing Collard for 11th place before that stop. He is 21st now. Another bad stop for the 019, we're being told. Apparently it was the worst one, 3 seconds slower than pretty much everyone else. So that has got to be frustrating for Petrov. He has done nothing wrong today. He's been perfectly fine. He's been one of the fastest cars today. It's just that pit crew, they have let him down and has cost him points today. Petrov will fight to the end, but still that has got to be frustrating. Josh Trowell was able to repass Shelley for 3rd place, and now Lamas, he wants 4th place from James Shelley. I think Shelley, even though he did that undercut, I think Lamas is just too fast. So we'll see how this goes on. As Lamas, he's up to 4th. Shelley falls to 5th. Ian Dutta in 6th place. We'll see what he can do. See if he can get up to these guys if they keep battling. I'll tell you what, though. Joshua Michaels, he has really backed off his pace. That last lap he ran was half a second slower than his teammate of Chris Washer. So Michaels in his 31 car, I think Washer might be catching him pretty quickly here. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on the gap as it goes on. Alan Cavanero, he is in last place. We're being told he had to serve a pit road penalty after speeding on pit road on that last stop. So now Cavanero, he is going to be in some trouble. I'm sure, not quite sure he's going to score points today. But it's got to be a tough one for the 7 team. William Duncan has been setting some pretty fast laps. He's going to try to make a pass for 6th place. Duncan with a great run through that corner. Going to try to clear Ian Dutta in the Honda for 6th place, and he will. Duncan with a really good pass in the 87 car. Zachary Fitzwater in the 55 car. He has made some decent inroads today, finishing roughly around dead last in the A main, so he had to start basically on the last row of the grid. This 55 team, they have done a great job. They are up to 15th as we are just past the halfway point of the race, coming up on the final stop. So very impressive by this 55 team. If they can keep up the pace, they've been one of the faster cars on the circuit. I'll tell you what, that gap that Michaels had put on Washer, it is gone. Washer has caught this 31 car. Michaels, ever since he pitted, he had been setting some pretty fast times, but Washer, he has picked up the pace. I think Michaels, he's trying to do what he did in the first stint and try to pretty much hot lap the whole thing. That has not worked in his favor. It wouldn't surprise me if Michaels might have overshot a couple of corners as well, trying to drive so hard. When compared to Chris Washer, he drives a much more passive, a much more conservative style. He knows how to save tires. He knows how to save fuel. He's one of the best at it. And we're seeing it unfold here as he is using his tires to catch his teammate with pretty much relative ease. Washer looking for the first lead change of the day. I don't think he wanted to pass his teammate for the lead, but he doesn't have much of a choice. We are coming up to the final stop, only a couple of laps away from the window. Washer, though, he's going to go around the outside line, and he's going to try to slingshot his way forward. Washer to the bumper. How hard will he race his teammate? He's going to give him a bump. That answers the question. This is the battle for the lead. Washer's trying to make the pass on his teammate. Michaels, though, he will defend as best he can, but that is his teammate, so I don't think he's going to door him or anything, but Washer sitting right there. He wants to make this pass, but he needs to make it cleanly. He cannot risk messing up himself and his teammate. And the driver in third place, Travel, and Lamas third and fourth. They must be licking their chops as Michaels looked like he was about to cut off a run Washer had. Washer, he's going to go for it. He gives the 31 a bump for the lead. Washer gives him a bump into the hairpin. And now Washer into the lead. Michaels, though, what will he do? He's got not much of a choice. Washer comes to clear him, and he does. Lead change, number one of the day. Chris Washer to the lead. Michaels, though, can he even do anything? He burned his tires too hard, and now he's got the fall, and now he's fallen to second. And now he has to be careful of Travel and Lamas. Will they catch him for second place? Washer and Michaels, final stop of the day for these two. And, ooh, they both equal, very equal, same time on pit road. And they both launch out, and Chris Washer will keep the lead. Washer takes, officially, significantly, takes the lead from his teammate. Couple of cars who pitted the lap before these guys did. Look at this, Fibrosis, Zachary Fitzwater. They are merging back into the top 10, actually, so this is a really good strategy here. Is now Fibrosis, who wants to get past Duncan for, I believe this is 7th place. Actually, 6th, maybe 5th, but look at this, Fibrosis with the warmer tires. Makes quick work of the 87 car. Ian Dunham did the same thing. He's up to 3rd place with the warmer tires. It's now Josh Travel, who has been slowly licking his chops while in 3rd place for most of this race. He is trying to now make a run at the MBR cars. Dutta as well. The problem with pitting 1 lap or 2 laps earlier is that your tires are going to wear much quicker. But sometimes you gotta pull a gamble to get the positions you want, so Dutta trying to get the best finish for the Max over Honda this year. Decided to implement some strategy to make it happen today. Travel though in that 10 car. He knows he needs to hurry. He's running out of laps to make a move towards the MBR cars, and he's going to make the pass here on Ian Dutta for 3rd. Lamas, Fibrosis, Fitzwater, surprisingly, they're sitting just behind as well with fresh tires. Well, 1 lap older tires than the rest, but still. And Travel, he makes the pass. He regains 3rd place from Dutta. Michael Cavanaugh was not able to really move his way forward as Paula Theos in the 98 car battles with him. She's had a pretty rough weekend. That 98 team hasn't had too much speed. I mean, then again, they got involved in a wreck on like lap 2 of the A main, but still. This is within the top 20, so they're going to get some points, but Cavanaugh, I don't think this was what he wanted in his B main. And I'll tell you what, Vladimir Petrov, he's still in 20th. And that stop that he had earlier was barely quicker. Petrov actually had fought back up to 15th from 21st, and now they're back to 20th. Oh boy, Petrov, he is not. A4T's just got to be completely frustrated. They have had nothing. They have lost like chances at the win today and chances at some good points today. Josh Travel, he's on a roll. He's now looking to pass for 2nd place against Joshua Michaels. And Travel, with a pretty good dive, makes some contact with the 31, but he does clear him. At least for now, Michaels does get a good run off the corner. Lamas has to be licking his chops as Dutta to pit road, as is Fitzwater. I think they may have undercut a little bit too hard. I don't think they had enough fuel or something, but Travel though, fighting. Michaels fighting as well. Michaels does not want to give up 2nd place. Lamas, he's going to go with whoever makes the pass, so he's just biding his time with only just a few laps to go. Washer, I think, is pretty much in control. But Travel, he does make the pass. He finally clears Michaels. Lamas cannot get next to 31 in time. Tough break for Fitzwater. That team had done some pretty major undercuts like Lamas did to get up to 7th place. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. They had to come down, put a splash of fuel in, and get him back out. He's down to 25th, so he hasn't got much time to get, 5 positions. Fibrosis tires have gone away, which has allowed Duncan to go back to 5th. James Shelley, I thought he was about to go 3 wide. That was about to get really hairy. But Duncan, we saw him get heavily passed by the 9 earlier on those hotter tires. Now, not much of a difference. Duncan's had a good weekend. A solid top 10 car. Now he wants 5th place today in this 87 Subaru. Coming to take the white flag, Chris Washer by his lonesome in the lead by roughly 2 seconds ahead of Josh Travel, who I don't think is going to be able to catch Washer in time. A very solid day for Washer. His conservative tire strategy has worked out perfectly for him, and now all he has to do is pretty much just drive the thing home. Another driver with a solid comeback today is Jesse Turner, who finished outside the top 30 in the A-Main. He has fought his way to 9th place, so Turner making up for that disaster of an A-Main he had. Trying to see if he can get by Fibrosis, although I think he needs 1 more lap to make it happen. Chris Washer on the final lap A very smart, solid day for the 2017 is going to put them in victory lane. Coming off the final corner, Chris Washer, MBR, will score their first win of 2017 here in Dubai. Josh Travel across second, and Lamas third place. Saul finishes all around, and Washer gets his first win of the year, as does Michael Block Racing.